Hello, and welcome to Chords of Conversation, presented by me, Davis Lynch, with a very, very special guest, Eli Howells from the Tan and Sober Gentleman.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
Of course. This is Eli from the Tan and Sober Gentleman. How did you come up with the name Tan and Sober Gentleman?
It was a joke. The band, it's such an interesting little outfit because it's been around for, I think, over a decade. I might be lying, but around is kind of a loose statement. So Ben, the bass player, has known Alan, the mandolin player, since they were like very little / before, their families knew each other, I think. And so it used to be a band called Barley, Corn, and Rye, which was much more traditional. I think, not that there's anything wrong with that, but a group of old guys playing old-time tunes. Mm-hmm. And then Ben joined, and I think kind of slowly started playing faster and faster tunes and getting a bunch of his friends to move in. There's a bit in our set where we sing a song called Cross the Blade, and it's from up north in Ireland, and we sing it for Annie Britton Nice. She's our Irish godmother. She used to run a pub called Tiernavan, and she's one of those very, fighty, short, blonde Irish.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm sure, has done scary things. And it was her idea. She came up with it as a joke. Ben was playing quicker and quicker and more degenerately. She was like, oh, you should call it Tan and Sober because you're none of those three things. Yeah. And we were like, that's fantastic. That's now been the name for about 10 years or so. I think I've been in the group for about 8. Uh-huh. It is funny. There was a point when we were all starting to get healthier, be outside more. And it was
more tan and more sober. You were manifesting it.
Yeah, that's happy. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing.
It's always, so I think we make a point of swinging on stage.
If you still don't look too tan or sober, so I think you're holding good on your image.
There's now a thing about, because I'm not really a heavy drinker. Strategic or theatrical drinking is its own.
It's like drinking before the performance.
Yeah, right.
And who writes the songs for the band? Do you have a specific songwriter? Do you all kind of just come together and write?
Really contribute. Tucker is one of our lead singers, and he grew up singing a lot of traditional old time bluegrass, and his family does a lot of music. So a huge chunk of what we do is taking songs written in the 1600s, 1500s, and then playing them really fast. And,
That's really cool.
But Tucker's written a couple. Alan, our mandolin player, has written a couple. Uh-huh. Courtney is also our other lead singer, and she's an amazing songwriter. Ben has written a couple. They're great. Ben's very deaf, so he always sings the mic. You have to decipher his. But yeah, it's kind of a big joy.
So that might add kind of to the vibe of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of enthusiastic, educated guesses.
And you feel like everyone kind of contributes equally, and it's pretty.
It's the fiddle player who's only written a couple of tunes that we play in sets. I would be absolutely. I'm sure the others have done much more songwriting than that. Uh-huh. But yeah, everybody contributes. It's really fun because it's a great environment for someone's guys, I wrote a song. We're always I always give it a couple of shows to see audience reaction.
Awesome. And then you talked about this but a little bit, but how did you start the band? And how did you meet each member? Did they bring you into it?
I used to play in indie bands when I went to school at UNC.
Oh, really?
Largely for the music scene. I came there and I went to the Cat's Cradle, and I think they had a Bob Marley birthday bash. And I grew up in a small southern town. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I was playing in a couple of different indie bands. I think it was honestly through my friend Nick White, who's a great singer-songwriter. Ben, again, had been in Barley, Corn, and Rye, and Alan had been in there for a long time. And their lead singer used to be their lead fiddle player. His name's Michael. I believe he's a marine biologist now up north. Michael's great. Incredibly antagonistic to the audience in a very good way. I think he helped a lot with the spirit of the band. But there was kind of, every once in a while with the band, there's a bit of a change of guard, or kind of a mass exodus just for life reasons. So I think our old drummer actually developed some shoulder problems. There's definitely our fault.
Too much hard drumming.
Also has a full family.
A lot of work to do around.
But I think they were looking for a fiddle player, and my background is in a lot of Irish, Scotch Irish stuff, classical. So I love tunes, and Ben was looking around. My friend Nick was like, "Oh, you should hit up Eli." So he sent me a message on Facebook, and I think he saved this because I responded immediately. I've been waiting for this my whole life, and it was so fun. I remember coming in to the first rehearsal, and I made a joke about being homeschooled. Everybody in the group's been homeschooled.
Really?
Pardon my French, but I think at least now it's at least still a majority. We got a couple public schoolers.
So you snuck in, but it's mostly.
Exactly.
I went to Carolina Friends School for a while.
Yeah.
Pretty much homeschooling.
Oh my God, yes. I have known Jake, the drummer. I love making fun of him for this, but I was his best man. I've known him since UNC. And so I brought Jake in. Tucker and I joined the band about, I think, around 8 years ago now, or 7 at the same time. And then Jake and Courtney joined like maybe a year or 2 later.
Okay.
And then since then, we've kind of been thick as thieves. But I met most of the people. I know some of them a bit through the grapevine, just through the band. So I think it was a really good fit from early, like, really just through the whole thing.
What scares you the most being a musician?
I was going to say, there was this one time where I was getting ready for a gig, and I was up on stage, I plugged in all the things, and this lady came up to me with the same body posture that someone normally gives, like, she was like, just so you know your fly is down. And I was like, no, it's really wonderful. As normally a very anxious person, playing music feels really good. Weirdly enough, radio shows. Radio shows are really fun, but they are incredibly intimidating to me. I think it's because I grew up around the idea of radio, and like, there's always a moment where you're just chatting, and then there's someone's like, oh yeah, and we'll be live, and it's just like, it's just all of the intrusive thoughts going about, like, anything I say, it's live, none of it's going to get edited, you're just like,
everyone's going to hear it.
Radio, because it is also broadcast, and it's so live, and I think there's still, playing violin, a big part of it is trying to reach perfection. Sounding, you really want to sound good. So I think, for some weird reason, radio shows are always fun.
Have you done a lot of radio shows?
Honestly, I'd love to do more. It's been able to happen. A lot of times we'll do like a spot with, we're based out of Chapel Hill. It's always really fun because I love being in a radio studio. I think it's really cool. Like, the energy's really cool. And I think it's also tricky because I really enjoy like audience feedback. And so, like, and it's weird. I thought I would be really scared by big crowds, but big crowds are really fun. Because normally people are like, it's a bigger crowd. They're there because they want
to. It's kind of like a crowd mentality. When it's just like a few, it's like, well, like, what are they? You can see their faces better, right. And it's like, what are they thinking?
Right, but if it's a big crowd, it's like, oh, people are like into it. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, so I think radio.
Do you tour around Chapel Hill a lot? Like, do you perform at Cat's Cradle, Local 506? Or?
Yes, we've been doing a lot with Cat's Cradle and then the Hubbard Ballroom as well. Which is so fun, and that's such a dream come true.
Yeah, it's a cool thing.
And then I also do a lot with like the poorhouse on Raleigh. And we would tour a lot around the East Coast. There's a great circuit around here. This next week, this is the first stop of a 5-day, 6-day tour. I think we're doing 5 or 6 shows, and then we're coming back and immediately flying out to Ireland because we didn't plan it well. But it's going to be really fun.
What are you going to do in Ireland when you're there?
Tour around the places. We normally play about like 8 to 10 gigs, and it's really fun. Last year we got to do this. This will be like about the 5th or 6th time we've got to go. And we're really lucky that we've made a bunch of awesome friends who both have wonderful places to stay, different pub owners, and so we have a great little circuit of meeting up with people. Last year we were able to play at a festival called the Flockule, which is it's the oldest Irish trad festival ever. And it's when a lot of the competitions in the country come together. And so it's just a massive Irish cultural festival.
Wow.
And so we're going back this year to play it again. Doing a combination of like shows, a couple of big sessions, and then playing festival.
Do people dress up in like old outfits and stuff like that?
Sometimes they do. Everything is jam-packed to the gills with like musicians and buskers and people are playing. Because it's all of the competition. There's like a lot of youth competitions for Irish trad music throughout the country. And then it's like the national championship as well as the big old festival. And there's people with little puppets. And there's not as much people like dressing up, but then there's also people who are. Ireland's fascinating because it is like some of their trad garb is a little rim fairy. It's a really good country.
I've never been, but I'd love to go.
Oh, it's
really cool. I've been to some parts of Europe, but never Ireland.
My partner Caroline describes Ireland as the North Carolina of Europe.
Really?
It's so true.
Huh.
Honestly, it would be easy.
Yeah.
It's very easy. Everyone speaks English, and it has almost a North Carolina, Virginia in a weird way.
Lost friends drinking.
Yeah.
What is the best piece of advice you have ever given or received?
Not in life or with music.
Either one, really.
My grandfather used to say, sometimes I wish I'd been born rich instead of so damn good looking. But I feel like with music, there's one that like comes back to, I was super lucky to get to take a class in Auron, which is like Irish drumming. This wonderful teacher. I remember she said, like, always try to make yourself dance with your own music. Because it will make other people.
Yeah. But you can't dance to your own music, no one else.
Right, and like, I think that's always try to think about that with like the things you are emphasizing when playing music. Some of the best life advice I've ever gotten is just, be nice and be curious. Try to keep going and don't expect perfection. It's been a really impactful lesson starting to do some teaching, because I teach violin and fiddle, and not to besmirch the good name of classical violin, but a lot of the instruction is based around perfection,
Yeah.
and it can be a little critical.
Mhm.
As in, like, Carolina Carter was fired by her violin teacher when she was like 8 or 9.
Oh my god.
That's classic. Those
Yeah.
like, I don't know if this is worth either budget.
Wow.
You should say, and you're like,
Even though they're
you're
getting
not.
paid.
Exactly, right. And I'm like, that's your job.
It's a mentality like some people have it and some people don't, rather than you can learn.
Yeah, it's more like, yes, I think it's that, and they really are striving for perfection.
Yeah.
There's this idea, like, all the audition process for symphony orchestra, the cool kids are the ones who are practicing 4 to 6 hours a day, and you kind of flex your muscles a little bit. But really, I don't necessarily believe too much in natural talent. I think a big part of it is just repetition.
I feel like it's more about mindset and commitment,
Yeah.
rather than like you either have it or you don't.
Right.
I think many skills can be developed. Like there's plenty of singers who weren't good singers when they started out, and then they just like practiced and practiced and practiced, and became much better. Or still aren't even that good, but they're famous.
I think it's sometimes even helpful not being naturally that good at something, because it means
Yeah.
you'll continue to work at it. Instead of
Exactly.
taking it kind of for granted.
Being like, oh, I'm already good at it. Like I don't need to.
I don't
work
need it.
on
I'm
it.
good. I don't understand musicians with good self-esteem. You play music, the more you can hear, and
Yeah.
you kind of hear like your own mistakes. But I think for a long time, I operated with that kind of the drive for perfection. It's really easy to be self-critical, I think, in those terms. As a deeply self-critical person, it
Yeah.
fits in well. And I think one of the things I really appreciate with Tan and Sober is it's so not about perfection. And really the idea of like music and performance as something that is fun and brings people together, and it's not necessarily about you or playing a perfect show is one where everybody has a good time. But it's not about hitting all of the notes perfectly. Perfection is absolutely a myth. Just go for like enthusiasm and hopefully some entertainment or like some enjoyment.
I think it's a good thing to strive for, but
Yeah.
not like, I don't know, not always what's necessary.
And it's easy to get hooked or like
You
there's
can get caught up
keep
in
chasing.
like,
Yeah.
you won't put something good out because you want it to be perfect,
Right.
but it'll never be perfect.
I struggle with that so much, and I'm trying to write more, and it's so hard because I really struggle with that blank page. And that's some of also the best advice I've ever gotten is just
Do
put
it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just practice.
Even write 100 shitty songs to get that one
And
good one.
enjoy it. And they're
Yeah.
gonna be great shitty songs. Just keep cranking them out. That also is then practice at doing the thing and getting better at things.
What genre would you classify the Tan and Sober Gentleman as?
Yes,
Or would you even classify them as a genre?
That's such a good question. There was a phrase we came up with of Celtic punk rats, which I think is adorable.
Celtic.
I like that. There was an actual review we got from Indie Weekly that was called us progressive folk music, not as a compliment, and I think it's one of the best reviews I've ever got in my life. We named an album progressive folk music, and that is sometimes
That's
a
awesome.
genre which I throw in there.
Yeah,
Um, Irish bluegrass punk nonsense. We put the ish in Irish. Goes over great in Ireland. I always think it's funny the punk aspect. I guess it's more the yelling and getting away from, like, you know, maybe valuing enthusiasm. Hopefully not quite pirate music, but
no, but I mean, like, pirate vibe with...
yes, I would love to be able to hang out with it. You know?
Exactly. Who are some of your biggest inspirations in music?
I love Irish music, and I love like fiddle players. And there's a bunch of people like Liz Carroll and Liz Noel, just amazing players. Martin Hayes, and they have a great. One of the things I love. There's a guy named Martin Hayes who used to have long curly black hair, and he's got a big thick process. But his whole thing is also he's one of the people that really brought Irish trad music like to the States. There was a big folk revival in the '60s that kind of brought a lot of. That's why like contra dancing started back up, and a lot of like folk genres started getting popular again. And he kind of has this mentality of playing a tune really simply, of really getting the beauty out of like playing slower and playing. And I think that's honestly really cool. Winifred Henneke is also a wonderful fiddle player. It's always hard nowadays, particularly with celebrities. One of the nice things about Irish fiddle is you will never be that rich or popular.
I took songwriting lessons with her stage name is Cinderwell, and I'm
Yes!
familiar.
Cool!
Yeah, and so it's the same sort of thing. Like she does fiddle and like this amazing like
Mhm.
Irish sort of music. And I'm like, I feel like she should be bigger than she is, but
Right.
I guess but also like that's not necessarily what's important. Like I feel like the fact that she's making great art is more
Yes.
important than how many numbers.
I always just hope I hope she's making enough money. I grew up listening to a lot of Tom Waits or Gilbert Bordello is a wonderful
yeah.
artist who I just really respect and I love. Talk about wonderful theatrical drinking. I got to see a show of his and like he just came out with a full bottle of red wine, no cup, Only probably drank it, but I haven't been theatrically with spill it. And that was, oh my god. And then there's gotta be like, I've been really enjoying Hozier recently.
Oh,
As
yeah.
far as like
She was great.
songwriting, and I know kind of, I love that it like popped into the, and then
He's Irish, isn't he?
painfully Irish. Oh my god! I got to see a show of his. He just had a thermos of tea. Kept doing this. Like Irish people get very nervous if you compliment them too much. They're just like, no, thank you later. I was like to Jim Jet, but
Oh yeah,
that was just I personal level. Like, I always feel bad. There's a lot of people who I was introduced to from like the Shrek soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, that's
Embarrassing
so real.
places
That's
where
so
it's just
real.
like,
There is some
it's
good music in Shrek.
wonderful soundtrack. I have it on vinyl. I want green
As you
edition.
should. Oh my god, that's beautiful. From Walmart too. That's ad. What was your most memorable performance, and why was it so memorable?
Good question. There's two that pop out immediately. One of them is personal, where we were just playing at ski lodge. And it was special because my mom came, and there's a song that we will do after sets. It's a very old song called "Whiff" or "Take a Whiff on Me." Unfortunately, it's all about cocaine, or just how great it is to do drugs. I've never done it. I'm not really, don't endorse that. I had no idea that my grandmother used to sing it to my mom when my mom was like going to sleep as a child.
Oh my god.
And so my mom was like, yo, I totally know verses. And I was like, what? And one of the big things, so we like, we'll unplug and come out into the stage. And because it's one of those old songs that just has a million different verses. And if you can just make up words to a very simple pattern, like da-da-da-da, like, you can sing anything. And so I got my mom to sing a verse with Tan and Sober, which for me is like,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
rather than like,
It's like a full circle moment.
Mm-hmm. As far as like crazy show wise, we got super lucky. Yes, it was 2 years ago to play at an Irish festival called Electric Picnic, and like I've never been to a major festival like Bonnaroo before. But this was like that size, and I think Billie Eilish was headlining, and then like the Killers, and I was so excited. And it was really cool. They have a lot of themed stages, and one of the stages is actually it's called the Salty Dog stage, and it's literally a pirate ship they were hauling across a field,
Oh,
and it
wow.
fell off of the track, and they were like, all right, let's turn to a stage. Bam! So it's literally an old pirate ship.
Wow,
And
that's really
we did the 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. set after we set up. And it was one of the coolest. It was such a cool stage. It was a great audience. Never thought I'd get to play it on an actual pirate ship.
It's crazy. You have to get perfect music for it.
Right, and it was like, oh, God, that's fun. I love getting to just go around and perform because there's a lot of really fun moments in special places where like almost everywhere has some like
Something
stuff
you're
there.
after.
Yeah,
And what led you to music, and how did you decide that that was your path?
that is a great question. Still deciding, it's I think I've always loved music, but honestly, I never thought I would be a musiker or be a musician. I started playing when I was like 8 or 9, and honestly, it was kind of part of a curriculum thing. Homeschool, I think it's really enriching to like learn music, and I always loved Irish music. And it was funny, my friend Matthew had started taking a Suzuki violin teacher came to town. He had started taking violin. I think it was literally a mentality of like, if Matt could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
Well, I want it. And so I started, and then we had like a little Irish band through the Suzuki school when I was like 13. And it was so fun. I really love that kind of music. The world frequently feels like it's falling apart to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But with everything going on, it's really nice to have a kind of constructive outlet. And it was really only recently that I started like teaching and believing it was going to be a part of my life. I've done a lot of different things. I kind of realized that I do want and need music as a major part of my life. It's also been funny. A lot of the people who know me, I think, best are like, yeah, you should keep playing.
It's always the people like closest.
Yeah,
to you,
like,
feel
no.
They're like, nah, you gotta keep doing
Yeah,
that.
you
Like, you have
should.
something to share.
I think it's also a lot of enthusiasm for me. I've never done anything that is quite so fun.
Nothing
That
makes
kind
me
of
feel
specific
alive
way.
in
Yes.
that certain way.
Yes.
Out of all of the instruments, how did you choose the fiddle?
Well,
I know
again,
you kind of talked about with your friend.
a bit out of spite.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff. No.
Spite's a good resource to use.
I think I really like fiddle. Part of it was trying to prove myself wrong. So I never thought my fingers would move that fast. But I really enjoy the emotive power of it. It's something where you can take one note and really do a whole lot with it. And I think it's a wonderful, marvelous instrument. I think everybody should try it. Give it a shot. It's also one of the most infuriating things you'll ever do. And it is frustratingly hard. But
Yeah.
I think the ability to really just pull so many emotions. And I really enjoy the tone. I think it was also a big part of this, the Irish fiddle music. Something about it just really, again, kind of hit me. And it's always funny, in hindsight, we're going to be like, wow, I could have done like flute or guitar. I really want to learn some guitar and keys.
Mhm.
Because violin does require a lot of time and effort. Not that other things don't.
No, yeah, it's just a different type of
Like,
less tedious in certain ways.
oh yeah, and like there's a lot of there's a study that they did a long time ago where violin you have to think of more different things than any other activity in the world. And violinists love to quote this, but a lot of times we're like, I joke about this a lot. But you'll be in college or high school, and you'll be like, I'm finally decent at this. And everyone's like, yeah. So I play guitar. They named 7 things. You're doing one. Instruments. Let's do it. Yes, that's.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, back at that music school, like people play like 8 different instruments.
Right, and it's
You have
so
time
cool.
for that, and they're so good at each one.
I strive to know. That's exactly like I strive to be like this.
What is the craziest thing your band has ever done? I know playing on a pirate ship is
Playing pirate ship, that electric picnic was pretty crazy.
Mhm.
Trying to think of, it's really fun. I am so fortunate to play with this group of people because we get into a lot of quality shenanigans, but nothing too like nuts. It's so nice. I mean, like we've gotten to hang out on like rooftops in Dublin for long periods of time. I really enjoy it. We've been to a Harry Potter pop-up bar together. We've set Ben's bass on fire a couple times.
really
We've tried our darndest to at least. I realized it was really
like on
hard.
stage.
Mhm. That was when I started playing a metal bass. We were like, and there's still scorch marks on it from where it lights. I think he's paddled it down a river as well.
My God.
One of the reasons I started playing electric was we actually managed to break my violin in half at one point, fairly early on, where it got knocked going straight up and it just folded. I got violin surgery, it was fine. I'm super lucky that like I do genuinely like all the people in Tanner Sober. And particularly these days, put on a lot of energy on stage. It's the hope, that's the dream. But then afterwards, sometimes people are like, oh, so where's the after party?
Like, that was it. We put all our energy out on the table.
Well, like, we're kind of into like reading books. And,
Yeah,
like,
it's
you
like
know.
kind of a puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I love a good crossword. Or just a good jigsaw puzzle. We ended up playing music for a Harry Potter bachelorette party in Ireland at one point. That's why we
That's
played
awesome.
Rattle and Bog. It's really cool, and again, I feel really fortunate because there's so many different little random moments of like, I didn't expect to do that. When we were in Ireland, we got to play I got to play spoons with a lot of ex-IRA members. That was fascinating and show them how to play spoons, which is never something that I would encounter. It's a charity group. For me, kind of the craziest is some of the stuff that we've gotten to do in Ireland is really mind-blowing as somebody grew up idolizing it.
My last question is, how do you measure the success of a show? And I know you kind of said there's not really like a perfect show, but if there was to be sort of like your perfect show to you, what would that look like?
My immediate thought is cold hard cash, and I was like, no, not at all. That's not the right answer. Honestly, I love, like, I'm a sucker for getting to play shows. And for me, I do love when, like, this festival's been amazing. It's like every stage here has a really nice sound system and a great stage. And, like, so I do love now a good set. I just love shows where we had a great show with Blue Ox a couple of years ago. It's really fun when there's a big crowd of people who are having fun. At Shikori Hills, we had a mosh pit at one point when I was singing a song, and that was really fun. That was close to perfect. Like, just that level of people getting into it, shouting along, singing along, dancing, like, that's for me a perfect show. And I really love places where there can be a lot of people, but everyone feels included. It's a combination. Sometimes even like if you were playing in a pub session, it's such a small space. It's hard to like think, and I always feel really good because sometimes you'll see people outside like open windows trying to get in. I'm trying to think of perfect favorite festival, or like my personal favorite festivals. Honestly, there's a couple of Irish ones that I really love. I love Shigori's, it's one of the first. Floyd Fest has been amazing, honestly. I think that it is one of the best festivals I've ever been to.
It's a great festival.
There's so many fun ones. Blue Heron was really fun. It's really cool that you just get to go to festivals. I never got to go to festivals. So like, I think sometimes the enthusiasm and just the spirit is really nice at a festival. Everyone's kind of there for like the same vibe. I love a good loud show. I know it sounds weird, but like, yeah, something that has like a big, verbose or kind of resounding sound system. Honestly, the pirate ship one was pretty close to a perfect show, just because it was like, I got to hang out on a pirate ship. Great. I'm really bad at that whole part. Like, I kind of hate getting paid money for music, and it just seems to be uncomfortable and weird. But also, you know, support musicians and artists and all that jazz. But it's so funny for me. A perfect show, I'm so happy to sit in the corner and play music.
Yeah.
Like, I'm most comfortable. There's a social situation, I can play. If that's wanted, I don't want to assume that, but it's a charity. Cool.
You're not like one of the put me in the spotlight type of people.
That's what
Yeah.
it's so weird that like I feel like sometimes having a stage or being on stage, I've learned to get better at like stepping up if you were doing a solo or kind of like,
Mhm.
but it feels a lot more communal sometimes. That like everyone, I love that feeling. I think that's my favorite kind of stuff where it's just a big crowd of people and everyone's kind of moving together. Yeah,
They're all there for the same purpose, kind of, which is music and
right.
the meaning and message.
Getting really sweaty.
Yeah. Dancing along.
One of the things I think they like in Ireland, I tell people I come from a long line of enthusiastic sweaters. We're great dancers, actually. But I think just that enthusiasm is really beautiful. It kind of brings people together. One of the things I love about Tan Sober is that we're definitely not cool and not worried about, I think, that's not at all anybody trying to be too virtuosic or too like,
And I feel like if you try to be too cool, are you really that cool?
no, it just seems
Like if you don't try to be cool and you just are cool, then you're cool. I don't know.
maybe I'm bad at maybe it's the home story with me, but it's,
No,
I
'cause
think
I thought you guys looked pretty cool up there last
thank
night.
you.
but-
That's so nice. Like, oh, I really appreciate that. It's so much fun. It is the most fun I've ever had. So I just hope it's fun for everybody.
Those are all my questions.
Thanks so much for having
Yeah,
me. This
thank you
is
so
much
much
fun.
for talking with me. It was great to get to learn from you and hear from you.
Anytime. I can always wrangle some of the kids.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. If you know anyone else who'd be down, then
Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Chords of Conversation. If you've made it this far in the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you so much to Eli Howells for being willing to talk with me on this interview.